an interesting, although only partly successful film, which is a New Zealand-Britain co-production called In My Father's Den, which has a very fine central performance. In fact, a couple of very fine central performances, but is overall, I think, rather too ripe. The story is that a young man who is a photojournalist has left New Zealand because of bad stuff that has happened with his family. He comes back to New Zealand. The family life is still not sorted out, but his father has died, and he goes back into the family life and discovers a whole bunch of weird secrets that have been hidden within the family life that he has somehow repressed. Sam Neill, who's a very famous New Zealand actor, said in a documentary that he made about New Zealand films that all New Zealand films are either about people running away from their home because it's stifling and oppressive, or people staying in their home and going quietly mad.
Or miserable and wet like the piano.
Yes, exactly. Well, this, funny enough, is shot by the person who shot the piano, but it's not quite so miserable, but it is a little bit wet. And it is another one of those classic, this only happens in a certain brand of art house cinema. There's an awful lot of noodling. There's an awful lot of Patti Smith on the soundtrack. You know,
Patti Smith noodling.
Noodling. You know, noodling when the film, it's not actually going anywhere. It's just pootling around a little bit. There's a bit of a flashback. There's a bit of a flash forward. There's a couple of scenes of people sitting around not doing very much. There is, I think, some emotional integrity in it. There are some great performances in it. There's a really lovely short story which is sort of unspooling the movie, which is very, very poetic. And as I said, there's Patti Smith's Horses is a very important part of the sound. For about 2/3 of it, I thought this is very good, very interesting, a very impressive directorial debut from Brad McGann. And then in the last third, it kind of falls down flat on its face and descends into melodramatic Freudian hogwash, which is a bit of a shame.
Hang on, so that's melodramatic
Freudian hogwash. Yes, because up until that point it had been...
Has the noodling stopped at that point?
Yeah, that's exactly the problem. That what happens is the noodling is perfectly fine, because movies that noodle and pootle are absolutely fine, but hogwash is unacceptable, unless it's knowing hogwash, in which case it's comedy.